Okay, it's all right.
Okay, sit down.
Hello, my friends. This is Bobby D coming to you from Tlalpan, Cebu, Philippines. I'm having an awesome time in the Philippines today. Hope you are as well where you're from. Hey, today I want to talk to you about the characteristics of Filipina in the Philippines. Characteristics of the Filipina in the Philippines. Yeah. Woo! What a joy, such a joy it is to come back to you again, my friends. And today, I want to say for those of you that are here for the first time, if you would click on that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you continue receiving fresh, new Philippine videos, motivational videos, and worldwide videos. Now, when we talk about the Philippines, you understand, this is a country where many, many people come every day. And guess what, guys? They come for the purposes of the Filipina. Yeah, many people love Filipinas. They love talking to them. They love being around them. And they enjoy their company. And so guys come from near and far to find the acquaintance and the company of the coveted Filipina. Yeah. And so years ago, I did the same thing. I was just like some of you guys out there trying to find my special lady. And thank goodness, it took me a while. I don't know if I told y'all the story before, but it took me 7 people. I mean, I went through 7 women, guys. Yeah. Before I found my sweetheart, Lisa D. And Lisa D was the cream of the what? Crop. Woo! Yeah, man, she was the cream of the crop. And every time I think about that one beautiful woman, you know what? I say it was worth it. It was well worth it. I liked her smile. I liked her attitude. I liked her charm. I liked the way she spoke to me. She was very, very loyal, very, very, I guess you would say conservative, and very, very respectful. She embodied to me everything I thought a Filipina should be. And that's why I fell for her. You know, and she fell for me too. I fell for her hard, man, but it wasn't really not immediate, but I liked her. I liked her when I met her. But I began to like her more as we began our relationship, began to talk, chit chat, you know. It just got stronger and stronger every time we went. So today, I want to talk to you guys about some things that you should know, that you guys that are looking for a good Filipino should know some of their characteristics. Some of you may know of some of these characteristics already, but I'm talking to you about just a few of them so that when you meet one and you see these characteristics in them, then you know, hey, I think I might have something here to work with, okay? So the first characteristic I'm going to talk to you guys about is of the Filipina is that the Filipina is about family. Yeah, family, man. Yeah, Filipinas are family-oriented individuals. They love family, and they love everything concerning being a part of a family and being part of membership in a family. They respect their elders. They respect their mama and their papa. They love their sisters and brothers, regardless of how they're treated. And Lisa D is the same way. When I met Lisa D, guess what, guys? I don't know if I told y'all this or not. When I met Lisa D was working here in Cebu. She was working in a factory, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. And guess what she did with her money when she got her money? Guess what she did? She sent it back home to mom and pop. Only kept enough for her to live off, to eat, and go back to transportation, go back and forth to work. That's right. The majority of her money went home because why? She was family oriented. She believed in taking care of her family. And her mom and papa were sort of elderly, and they couldn't work a lot. So that's what she did. And when I saw that in her, I was amazed. Because in American society, in the United States, we don't normally find people that's sending money back home to their mamas and papas and just keeping enough to pay the rent and enough to buy food. Most people in the United States, when they get a job, they forget about mom and papa. That money goes in their pocket. They want to buy CDs. They want to buy the latest Gucci's. They want to buy the latest and the greatest for themselves. And they don't think about the family. So what's up, Wendell? Good to hear from you, man. And so, family is very, very important. Very, very important to the Filipino. And it's one of the most outstanding characteristics that you will find in Filipino. Okay? So if you see a Filipino, if you meet a Filipino and they tell you, I don't care anything about my family, I don't like my mama, I don't like my papa, they ain't worth a flip, then you know something wrong with that person. Because that's not the characteristic that a Filipino, normal, average Filipino will have. Filipinos don't hate their family, even if they're treated wrong. I mean, I've talked to Lisa D a long time. Sometimes, some of the things she told me, her parents had treated her wrong for a while, but she said, I don't care, I love my mom and papa, I don't care what they do. And so, if you find a Filipino to tell you they don't love their parents, and they don't love their family, stay away from them. That's a dead giveaway. They're not right for you. Because if they don't love their parents, and they just don't love their family, that means they got issues. And you don't want somebody carrying a lot of baggage. You don't want somebody carrying a lot of issues and get into a relationship with them, okay? So, number one, family, okay? They're very, very family oriented. Number two, the Filipinos are people, are women that are full of faith. Faith, F-A-I-T-H, faith. If you find a Filipina, she's gonna sometime or another talk about faith. She's gonna talk about God. That's a good Filipino. When they talk about family, when they talk about faith, I love the Lord. Now, the thing about the Filipinos, they'll talk about God, but a lot of them don't go to church on a regular basis, but they still love the Lord. When I met Lisa D, she didn't go to church every day because where she lived, the church was like 5-10 miles away, and where she lived, there's no taxis, there's no transportation except for a trike, and people on there can't afford to take a trike. So she would talk about the Lord every chance she got. She'd go to church, but it wasn't on a regular basis. So what I'm telling you is this: if you find a Filipina and they talk about God, that's something you can work with. Okay, even if you're not in the Lord, when you find a Filipina that's in the Lord, that person has some principles. That person has morals. That person has values. You may want to be associated with. So that's definitely somebody you want to get in touch with. So they got family. They got faith. Another thing the Filipino has, one of the characteristics, is fierce. F-I-E-R-C-E. Fierce. Yeah, they're fierce. What do you mean fierce? Here's what I mean. They will fight. You hear me? They will fight you. I don't care if they're 4 feet tall. They will fight you. Tooth and nail. They will fight. If they believe you're doing them wrong, or they see something they have to fight, they will fight you. I don't care how big they are. I remember one time, me and Lisa D, we were out walking in the streets in Talamban, where we live, right? All of a sudden, I brushed past this guy. He turned and looked at me. I said, I'm sorry, what's going on, man? You okay? And then Lisa D said, the man said something to me in Savannah. And Lisa D got lit. Yeah, man. She got lit. She said, I don't know, I speak Savannah, but she was talking so fast, I don't know what she told the guy. She got all up in the guy's face, man. I said, Lisa D, come on. It's not worth it. I mean, she was getting ready. She was defending me. I don't know exactly what he said. But I said, what's going on? What did the guy say? He said, you black man, and he called me the N-word. Okay? That's basically what he did. And I said, that's okay. It's okay. I can handle it. As long as he don't put his hands on me, I'm all right. So I had to calm her down. They're fierce. Listen, they wasn't big as your hand. The guy was a little bit by my side, a little bit taller than me. And she was ready to take him on. I said, no, we don't. I had to push away. So I'm saying, they're fierce. They will protect you. I don't care who comes against you. If they love you, they will protect you. They will do the same thing for their family members. If you come after their family members, they will come after you. Okay? So the family oriented and faith oriented, and they are fierce. Okay? Yeah. It's some fierce people, man. Now, normally you want to understand that they're only going to be fierce if you make them fierce. If they have to defend themselves or protect someone. Okay? Now, another thing Filipinos are, they're very, very friendly. Friendly. Most Filipinos love to be social. They love to be around people, especially their friends and family. It makes them feel comfortable. It makes them feel accepted, and it makes them feel warm inside, warm and fuzzy. They love family. They love social outings with their family and friends, and anything to do with family is well appreciated with the Filipino. So if you get a Filipino and they exhibit some of those characteristics, those are things that you want to know. Hey, I can work with this. I can work with this lady. She seems like she may be legit. Now, sometimes Filipinos. Hold on one second. Sometimes Filipinos are very, very forgiving as well. If they love you, especially if as far as boyfriend, girlfriend relationships, and you do something that's, bad, they'll have an option to forgive you, especially if you're foreign. Because Filipinos, here in the Philippines, most of them love foreigners. And then most of them they dream of having a relationship with a foreigner. So they can be very, very forgiving at times. Now, there are some that are non-forgiving, okay? That's when you start playing around on them, you better watch out. Because they are non-forgiving in that preference. But Lisa D and I are here. And we're having an awesome time here. Hope you guys are as well. Haven't been chatting with you for a while live, so I thought I'd give you a live shout today. Shout out. I'll be doing some more live broadcasts soon. Touch bases with you guys. And we're here in the Yellow Mall, one of my favorite places to do videos. And we're out here on the terrace, living a God life. Okay, hold on. Let me get that back up here. Hold on. I didn't get that question. Is racism a problem in the Philippines? Okay. Good question. Is racism a problem in the Philippines? Well, I'll tell you, in general, racism is a problem, in my opinion, everywhere. Okay? And because of the fact that it is racism, it's biasness against a particular race. Now, as far as the Philippines is concerned, I'm answering your question. Racism is very, very covert, C-O-V-E-R-T, covert here, okay? Most of the people here are not overt, O-V-E-R-T, in their racism. And most of the people here are very, very friendly, most of the time. I have run into a few instances where there was, in my opinion, there was some covert instances of racism. So, but you won't find it overt. They won't call you a whole bunch of stuff in front of your face. When you turn your back, because they know you can't speak the language a lot, they'll say a lot of stuff and like that. But most of the time, I'm having, like that incident I mentioned with me and Lisa D, that was one out of maybe, and I've been there 5 years. That was probably one incident, maybe out of about 3 or 4 and 5 years. So not a big problem. Not a big problem at all, unless you make it a problem. You come out here acting crazy. They're going to say, well, that's how black people do, or that's how, But other than that, you're not going to find race. Racism is not a big problem here like it is in the USA. Put it to you like that. Now, what was the other question here? Let's see if I can pull it back. Okay. Olongapo? I don't know. He says, Wendell says, how far am I away from Olongapo? This deep. You know how far I'm away from Olongapo? I'm not sure exactly where Olongapo is. It's Olongapo in, is it in Mindanao, Visayas, or Luzon? If you could tell me what area it's in, the three parts of the Philippines, Luzon is in the north, Visayas is in the center of the country, and the Mindanao is in the south. Okay, Wendell says it's in Subic Bay. Okay, Subic Bay is in the north. That's near Manila area, and that's in the Luzon area, so I'm a long way from it. I'm probably about 8 hours away by boat, and I'm probably about an hour away by plane. So it's a great distance. Now, the people in Luzon, they speak Tagalog. They don't, and people in the people in Visayas speak Cebuano, which is entirely different dialect. Dana says African racism is a lot different from black American. I think you're right to a certain degree. Racism, African Americans. I'm talking about real Africans, rather, not African Americans, but Africans, people on the continent of Africa, actually have a bias towards African Americans. I found that quite a lot as I met a lot of different Africans. And also, on the flip side of that, when you come to the Philippines, you'll find that sometimes there can be a difference between how a pure African is treated in the Philippines versus an African American. Okay? Because there's a lot of pure Africans out here in the Philippines. From Kenya, I've met Africans from Kenya. I've met Africans from Nigeria, and I'm not bashing Nigeria, and I'm not bashing Africans. Okay? But I'm telling you my observations as a person that's living overseas day in, day out. Okay? I see it every day. The Nigerians have a bad reputation here in the Philippines because they do a lot of scamming. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that all Nigerians are terrible and that they're scammers. That's not what I'm saying at all. Because to be quite honest with you, the Nigerians that I have met, and I have a Nigerian friend, they're very, very cordial, very, very polite. And I've never had any problems with a Nigerian. But as I live here in the Philippines, every other month, they locking these Nigerians up for scamming in the Philippines. And it's like, it's giving the Nigerian people a bad reputation. So there is some distinguishing features or aspects of racism in the Philippines as opposed to elsewhere. Okay, I've heard that people in Manila are not. Okay, hold on. I can't bring that question. Okay, I've heard the people in Manila are not friendly. Are the people in the more? Okay, good question. Living a God-filled life. I like that name, man. That's blessed. All right, here's the deal. The people in Manila, for the most part, are not as friendly as the people in the Visayas or Mindanao area, okay? And that has a very, very long historical path because it stems from the fact that years and years and years ago when Spanish owned Philippines, the people in Manila were considered to be the aristocrats. Yeah, they were high class. They were at the top of the line as far as Filipinos were concerned. The people in Manila spoke Spanish, and speaking Spanish was aristocratic. Most Filipinos did not speak Spanish at all. And because of that, the people in Manila they look down on the people in maybe Visayas, Mindanao, other areas because they don't speak English that well. And there's a lot of other things. Okay, one other thing that causes the people in Manila to be, that causes, what's that making a noise?
Recess time.
Huh? Who? Who was that? Anyway, one other thing about Manila is that the people in Manila, they they are they all sort of look down on the people in the other areas like Mindanao and Visayas because they thought that the people outside of Manila were poor. Actually, they were. Most of the people outside of Manila were poor dirt farmers, and they disrespected them. And so there's a lot of that going on right now. All of that has not eradicated because to this day, if you go to Manila, the people in Manila still turn their nose up at people in the Visayas and people in Mindanao. And one thing that sort of tried to erode that was the fact that the president is from Mindanao. And when he got to be a president, people had to stop looking down on other people. They had to stop that. They had to, because it's not something that is approved of, okay? But it's still happening. There's racism, there's inter-racism between Filipino to Filipino. That's based on where area you're from. People in Luzon don't like or discriminate against people in the Visayas and people in Mindanao, and they sort of look down on them. Okay, so I found that to be true. And let's see, I have another question here. Okay, the Africans in Mexico City, yeah, they're not being treated properly. And all they want to do is try to cross the border like everybody else. But because of their skin color, they're being discriminated against. And they're being treated like dogs, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know if you guys have looked at the news and seen the facilities and how they're being treated. It's a shame. It's deplorable. I wouldn't wish that those kind of conditions on my worst enemy, because the only thing they're trying to do is better their lives. Now, granted, they are coming across the border illegally and they're breaking the law. So they have a right to detain them, okay? But in so far as detaining them, they have a right to also treat them humanely. That means give them a place to sleep and give them decent food and give them a place to wash and the proper things they need to take care of themselves. They have a right to do that, but they're not doing that. And that makes it a humanitarian crisis, not only for Africans and Haitians that are trying to cross through the Mexican borders, but for the people in other countries that are trying to cross to that border as well. Now, wait a minute, hold on, I got another question here. You plan to vote in 20? Oh yes, I plan on voting in the 2020 election. I voted in 2016. And you don't have to be in America to vote. You can vote. I voted with a write-in vote, overseas ballot for 2016. I voted overseas ballot, and I plan on being in the states in 2020 because I want to cast my vote up close and personal myself. Because of the fact that when I voted in 2016, I mailed in my ballot, but I don't even know if it was counted. I mailed it in, I signed it, I sealed it, put it in. I followed the instructions to the letter. So I'm assuming it was, but in the back of my mind, I still have a little bit of doubt. So I don't want that for 2020. I'm going to be in the United States of Georgia. I started to say United States of Georgia. I'm trying to make a new country, y'all. No, I'm being United States of America in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm going to cast my vote. If those of you that are from Georgia, you know where DeKalb County is. That's my county. That's my home county. I used to live in Lithonia, and I'll be casting my vote in 2020 right there, and probably going to do early voting as well. Now, hold on, I had another question. Listen. Oh, okay. What's the 10-foot pole rule, Ghost? What's up, Ghost? Ghost man in the house. What's the 10-foot pole rule? I don't know what that is. Enlighten me. don't touch it. Ooh, yeah, I hear you, man. But you know what? I apply that 10-foot pole rule to the Philippines, but not to the United States, because that's my country. That's where I'm from. I'm allowed to speak about that. Okay, you want to leave America? Okay. Living God say he want to leave America because he's tired of USA. No sense of community in the United States. Easy to feel like an individual. I agree with you to a certain extent. A lot of people are leaving America. A lot of people going to Canada. Thank you, Ghost. I appreciate that, man. A lot of people are going to Canada and places like that because they're struggling with the way in which, you know, people are being treated. Not just African Americans now. Latino Americans, Asian Americans are being treated poorly. I mean, and in the United States, there are a lot of supremacists that are going around, and you know, I'm not mentioning any names, but the administration seems like sometimes that's what they perpetuate, and so a lot of people are unhappy and they're leaving the country. You know, when I left the United States, I moved here in 2014, and I didn't move because I was unhappy there. And I didn't move there. There's some things I didn't like, but I moved there to be with Lisa D. And I moved here to be with Lisa D. And it's been a blessed move for me, you know. Thank goodness, it looked like I moved at the right time. I made a move at the right time. I missed all that stuff that y'all going on with the Black Lives Matter and all that kind of stuff. When I left, none of that was going on. None of that. It seemed like when I left, it just got way, way worse, you know, and it became very, very overt, O-V-E-R-T, versus being covert, okay? And so I sympathize with a lot of you guys that want to leave, but at the same time, I got to let you know that whatever you're running from, you're going to find it where you're going. It's sooner or later going to show up. It's going to raise its ugly head. I don't care if you go to Timbuktu. Racism is going to be staring right at you. Yeah. I mean, it may not be as intense as it is where you are now, but sooner or later, in some form, some type, you're going to run into that same beast. You're going to run into that same animal. And you have to stand your ground. Yeah. You have to be intelligent, and you have to know what you're doing, and you have to know how to deal with it. See, I can deal with anything. Racism, anything. I can deal with it because I got it up here, and I got it in my heart. I don't accept it, but I know how to live with it. I know how to live with people that hate me. I know how to do that. And so, you know, when you know how to deal with it, you can handle it. And keep in mind, guys, don't think that any place you go in this world is a utopia, okay? Any place you go in this world is not, there's no sense. There's no thing as a perfect world. There's no thing as a utopia in this world, okay? Get that, guys. Because if you don't, you might just be very disappointed when you go to a foreign country and you find out the big R is facing you, okay? The big R, you know what I'm talking about. Racism stares you down the face. So overall, here in the Philippines, excuse me, overall here in the Philippines, it's not very overt. And it's not very prevalent as well. However, you always have to be, as a person of color, you always have to be alert, and you always have to be aware that somebody here is not going to like your color. Now, one of the reasons why people in the Philippines don't like black is because they were brainwashed. Yeah, they were brainwashed. Just like people in the United States. When we were brought here, we were brought to the States from Africa. People brainwashed us that white was right. If you were black, you had to give back. Y'all know that. They brainwashed us. And the same thing they did to the Filipinos. The Spanish did to the Filipinos. That's why a lot of the Filipinos right now to this day, they do what? Bleach. Yeah, skin lightening. They do skin lightening is one of a multi-billion peso industry in the Philippines. Yeah. I mean, people every day, they go out to this grocery store, they got all kinds of skin lightening products on the shelves. And they buy them out. They sell out. Because of a color. The people here believe that white is right. Yeah. They like white. If you black, sometimes they don't want to be bothered with you. I'm serious. So we were brainwashed. So were the people here in the Philippines. Spanish did a good job on Filipinos. I'm telling you. Now, at least they want me to leave. But I ain't ready to leave yet. At least D said, let's go, Bobby, let's go. I said, no, sweetie. Look at it, y'all. She trying to hide. She trying to hide because I called her out. hey guys, I called her out. She trying to hide. This D's all right, man. That's my buddy. That's my partner. That's my wife. Special lady to me, man. But yeah, Germany. Okay, yeah, Germany is really, really bad right now. I have a friend that lives in Germany. Name is Early, and he tells me that when he moved, he's been there over 20 years now. He moved there right after he retired from the service. He was stationed there for a while. Then they transferred him back to the States, and he had such a good time. He even married a German person. His wife's German. He's got children that's German and half white, and they're German, and he has grandchildren now, so he loves it in German. But he I talked to him about a week ago, and he was telling me how it's changed there. He said when he really moved to Germany, man, they were accepting him with open arms. You know, everybody loved him. He said now people trying to run from him. Yeah, because they have this nationalist thing going out there where if you're not German, if you're not German in originality, they don't want you in the country. And then we were talking about that, and I said the same thing sort of running parallel in the States, because you know you got the administration pitching that type of insane thinking, and that's terrible. And that's why a lot of people of color, and I'm not mean just blacks, but Latinos, Asians, everything else, trying to figure out when are we going to be treated properly. When are we going to be treated fairly and equally, you know? So, I'm telling you, man, if you guys want to leave the United States and go to a different country just because of racism, you might want to reconsider it, because wherever you go, you're going to find some of that. All right? And so, there's no perfect place that doesn't have it on this universe. I've traveled a lot. I've been all over, okay? When I was in Thailand recently, Lisa D and I was in Thailand. It was a little bit out there. We went to Hong Kong, China, a little bit out there, you know. And you won't know it if you're not a person of color. It's going to be hard for you to pick it up. But if you're a person of color, you can tell, you can feel it, and you can detect it when somebody don't like you just because you are you. Okay? I can see now. I can understand. If I knew you, okay, if I knew you and you knew me and you knew I had a bad, nasty attitude, I can understand you not like me. It's okay. I can deal with that. But just not to like me because of my color? Come on, man. What is wrong with you? Straighten it up. You know, I had a hard time with that. But, you know, some things you have to just pray about it and move on. That's what I do. When I find somebody that they just don't like me because of my color, or they don't like me because how I look, how my facial features are, I can't do nothing about that. That's not my problem. That is not my problem. That is their problem. And that's how you gotta look at it. That is their problem. They have not transcended to the place where I am, where I'm not prejudiced. I don't dislike you because of the color of your skin. I don't care if you're white, brown, black. I don't dislike anybody because of their color. I might not like you because of your attitude. I might not like because you are mean or angry to me or anybody, but because of your color? Come on, man. I don't deal like that. I'm not a biased and racist person. So you have to learn how to deal with that wherever you go. And I'm a person that's able to deal with it. I blend in. I try to blend in wherever I go. Uh, if I go to Thailand, and Lisa D and I planning our next trip right now. She thinking about going to Malaysia, and she want to go back to where you want to go? What'd you say? Huh? Singapore? Okay, she said she want to go back to Singapore. I don't know. So we'll be making a decision in the next 20 to 30 days. Huh?
South Korea.
Where?
South Korea.
Okay, she want to go to South Korea, and she also want to go to Tokyo, Japan. So one of those places we'll be going this year. We're gonna make it. We always make our plans in July, and we schedule it in July. So next month we'll be deciding where we're going, and wherever we go, we always have our eyes open because you never know what you're gonna run into. Any more questions, guys? Cause I'm gonna be back with you. What time is it now? It's like 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock in the United States. 2 o'clock a.m. You guys are up late, early rather. Some of y'all must work the night shift. I used to work the night shift. I used to work for, you ever heard of Bell South and AT&T? They used to call it Southern Bell when I worked night shift. I worked night shift for 3 years, man. And I'm tell you right now, I hated it. Whew, I hated night shift, man. I couldn't never get enough rest. I worked 8 hours a day. Huh? Excuse me?
Number 2.
Go, I'll be here.
Here.
Huh? What'd you say?
Why don't you do it here?
Lisa D messing with me, y'all. Go ahead, my dear. Go. Go. I'll wait on you here. I'll be right here. Huh?
Do it at the house.
Oh, she ready for me to leave. But I'm gonna tell you, man, I used to work night shift. I worked night shift for 3 long years. 3 years. And when I worked nights, I never got no more than 4 or 5 hours sleep when I came home. And so, guess what, guys? To this day, guess how many hours I normally sleep? 4 to 5 hours. I never got my sleeping patterns and sleeping habits straightened out after the night shift. So I don't encourage anybody to work on night shift. It'll mess you up. But I had a whole time job. I worked 4 to 12 as well. Now I like that one because of the fact that I had all morning to do anything I needed to do, run my errands, etc., etc., etc. And then I worked from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. And those were some good hours. I enjoyed those hours. I also worked 8 to 4, and that was good too. So, but the night shift, I don't recommend anybody getting that night shift unless you have to. Now here in the Philippines, if you guys want to come to the Philippines and you're going to be looking and you need a job out here, you think you're going to get a job out here, you probably could, but you're going to have a license. You're going to have a special job visa for that, okay? Employment visa rather. And those are hard to get. Unless you have a job that is high demand, you may not be getting it. Or unless you have a job in the States that can transfer you here and they have a division here in the Philippines, you can get employment visa like that. But just to say you're gonna go out here and get a job, no, they don't. They try to limit foreigners getting jobs out here because they're taking the job. They feel that they're taking the jobs away from the Filipinos that actually need the work. So it's gonna be hard to get out here. What I recommend anybody's coming out here, make sure you have your money straight, okay? You guys out here that's working on jobs, it's gonna be hard because you gotta save money. You gotta save your money up. And sometimes one job is not enough. You need to get 2 jobs. You may get a full-time job and a part-time job. Or you could get just one job and work overtime like I did. I had one job. I worked for Verizon Wireless. I had one job and I worked 4 hours overtime every day. Just about 5-6 days a week. That's how I made. I was making close to 100,000. I was making close to 100,000 a year because of overtime. And so what I'm saying is, you have to do more. You have to do more than just the basics if you want to change your life. Okay? You just can't keep doing the same old, and expect things going to change by itself. No, you got to make it happen, Gavin. Yeah, you got to make it happen, man. It's not going to happen unless you do it. It's up. If it's to be, it's up to what? It's up to me. Remember that. Nobody going to give you nothing but trouble. And trouble is easy to find and receive. If you want to be the man, you got to pay. You got to pay the price to be the man. That means you got to get a double shift. Get a double shift. You got to work overtime. Work overtime. You got to get another part-time job. Get another part-time job. Save your money up, man. And then make that move. Get in that 401k. For those of you that have a 401k, I recommend you get in the 401k plan. I was in the 401k plan, and then I still got my 401k money right now. I used some of it when I came out here. Every now and then I might touch it for here and there, but most of the time I don't touch it. And it's continually growing because it's invested in stocks and bonds. And it is growing. So for those of you that don't participate in your company's 401k plan, shame on you. Because that's how you can help yourself get out of the slump that you're in. 401k plan. My company matched it $2 to 1. So every dollar I put in, they put in 2. Okay? Now a lot of companies don't do that. They'll maybe 1 to 1 or maybe give you 50 cents or whatever. But whatever they can give you, you need to participate in it. Because that's company money. Company people just giving you money just for you to save what you really need to do. So right now, if I don't work, I do online stuff right now, okay? But if I don't work a year, 2 years, 3, my 401k is enough to take care of me. And Lisa D, I don't have to lift a finger because it's there if I need. It's there if I need it. So I'm telling you guys, find yourself a way to make money while you sleep. And the 401k will make money for you while you sleep because you're putting it in, and their company is investing that money in stocks and bonds for you. Now you can direct how the money's be invested, or you can leave it to the company to do it. When I was working, I left it for the company to invest the money. But now I go in every now and then, I tweak it myself to make sure it's making maximum profit for me. Okay. All right, guys. Lisa D's about to pass out over here. Look at her. Look at her, guys. She's ready to go sleep. No, she's ready to go home. We've been out here for a while, and it's hot out here. I don't know if you guys can tell or not. But I'm gonna be back with you tomorrow. And I'm gonna be doing a lot of live this month. Okay, I didn't do a lot last few months because I had a lot of projects. Man, I had a ton of projects from Upwork. It's been keeping me. It's been keeping me busy, but it's a good busy, because I got a lot of cheese. Yeah, man, I got a lot of cheese from those gigs, and it's easy money because it's doing what I like to do. I'm just doing videos and editing. And it's a piece of cake for me. I got it from YouTube. Yeah. Anyway, guys, Lisa D, you want to say anything to the people?
Hello. What's everybody? Aw, I don't want to.
All right. She's shy. But yeah, I got to get ready to go. It's been a pleasure talking to everybody out there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly what time, so just be looking out. I'll hit you up tomorrow on another live, maybe from the house. And keep in mind now, when I do it live from the house, the signal's not that strong. Okay, so I might be going in and out, So if I get to the point where I'm doing a live at the house and going in and out, I'll probably shut it down. But I'm gonna try tomorrow. Now, it might be at the house. If it's too bad at the house, we may come out if we have time. My projects I'm doing for Upwork, I got most of them out. Right? I have most of them done now, so I've got some more free time. I have to stay with the projects to pay me a lot of money, okay? But I'm not neglecting you guys. I'll definitely be doing another one live tomorrow. All right, guys. That's it for now. This is Bobby D saying take care. God bless and peace.